Hello everyone and welcome to this step-by-step demonstration of the new SSQ Insurance electronic application for the February 11th pilot. So this is the page you will get once you click on the link provided in the dedicated website. Your username will actually be your email address and your password will be given to you by your wholesaler. It's important to keep in mind that the password cannot be changed, so it'll be important to keep it. So once you've logged in, you have two options that are offered to you. You can either start a new electronic application or go into the saved applications. Once you begin an application, you can save it for maximum 30 days. So in order to have a faster demonstration, I started a case. So I mostly put the client's contact information so we don't have to do it during the demonstration. So the first page you get, you have to pick if it's a non-face-to-face or a face-to-face sale. So as discussed, the non-face-to-face option will be offered as of February 25th. Just for the sake of the demonstration, I will show you how it works. So if you pick non-face-to-face, you have a customer URL that you can copy, paste, and send to your client, either by email, text, Skype, Messenger, whatever works. And you also have a call code here. So when the client logs onto that page, he will be asked, what is the call code? In that case, 371. So entering that code will connect the client with you, and he or she will be able to follow the progress of the application. So I will switch it back to face-to-face, and we'll just have a quick look at the first page here. You have to confirm that it's not a replacement. As of today, no replacements are available with the electronic application. When the pilot has begun, we are expecting to allow external replacements, so from other carriers to SSQ. It should be available, I would say, around February 25th also. So this is the broker disclosure, and you have to choose also the purpose of insurance and the language. When you validate here, every section needs to be validated. So since we're in a face-to-face sale, we just click validate and we are able to go to the next section. We could apply some changes. So we would select edit the above section, and it will we will have a message warning us that the information will be removed. So we need to validate once again. And when we press validate here, what happens if we're in a non-face-to-face sales, the client gets a pop-up and all the information you've entered is displayed on the client's screen. So the client really is part of the whole process, and we are requiring step-by-step validation from the client. So you can navigate either with the previous or next buttons that are right here at the bottom of the page, or you could also navigate with the links that are provided at the top of the page. So the first section we have to enter is, of course, the client's general information. So first and last name, date of birth, gender, email address, and smoker. An email address is essential since a confirmation email will be sent to the client. And we also have an option here that's called Find Existing Client. So it is required that you make the research by clicking right here. So it will allow you to merge this case with an existing case at SSQ Insurance. So if our client already has an individual life insurance policy, they will automatically be merged, and this will really ease the policy issue process. And it is required that this option is executed. As of today, we allow 2 policy owners. We do not allow a company to be a policy owner at this stage of the process. Of course, the policy owner could be a third party, an individual, and you could identify that third party right here. You could also put contingent owner, but it's not mandatory at all. So I will validate these informations, and I can go to the next section. The form, it's very dynamic. If you missed a step or if there's a missing information, you will get an error message, and it will direct you to the missing information. So once we've identified the clients, we must select a coverage. So again, it's very dynamic here. Every option we enter will affect the following choices. So for example, if I were to pick Jonathan for the first coverage, I would only have an individual coverage that would be offered. If I put Jonathan and Sabrina, then I have joint first to die or joint last to die. So I will pick a joint first to die, term plus life insurance with a level death benefit for a term of 25 years for $250,000. Sorry about that. So, of course, all the other benefits are available on that same page. The disability rider, for example, since we picked a term plus. So, just to be a little bit faster, we'll pick that we are not requesting the disability rider. And we could also add an additional coverage. For example, we could add a critical illness insurance for Jonathan for term 75, enhanced with return of premium on death and on cancellation for $50,000. And we could also add the critical illness rider for Sabrina. And of course, all of the other riders are offered here, even the child rider. And for the child rider, you can apply for it even if there are no born children at the moment of application. So if the client is pregnant during the meeting, you could already add the rider. It would save an additional meeting. So once you've entered your information, you can calculate, and the premium is automatically displayed. If we were to remove coverages or add coverages or modify the face amount, we would recalculate and the new premium would be displayed, and it will always remain in the upper right corner. So the next section would be the client details, so address, citizenship information. We also offer the option to indicate to us when is the best time to reach the client for the telephone interview. So you could specify the moment of the day and the preferred method of contact, whether it's mobile phone, house phone, or business phone. And you could also indicate here when are the best moments to reach your client. So for example, for this client, we would see that Wednesdays and Thursdays are best. Identity verification, very simple. You can also indicate if the client has existing insurance and if any application had been declined or rated. You will also have to indicate the employment information. So we would validate. And the client, if we were in a non-face-to-face sales, the client would get a summary of the information that's been entered. So we will also indicate the details of the other in-force insurances. And of course, at this stage, we do not allow replacements. So again, I will validate here. Now for our insured number 2, we have the same process. So legal status in Canada, address. We have a copy button here that will automatically copy the previously entered address if both clients reside at the same address. So of course we will have to enter the phone number. Same process here, preferred time for the telephone interview, identity verification, employment information, and you will validate. And here we can see that I forgot to enter an information, so I have an error message. Please answer the highlighted questions. And I forgot to put the province of employment for our second insured. I will press validate. Oh, I have another missing information. I'm missing the primary phone number for Sabrina. So when all the information has been properly keyed in the system, I will get a confirmation message right here. Next section will be beneficiaries. There is room for 4 beneficiaries for the main coverage and also 4 contingent beneficiaries. If you have picked a critical illness coverage, you have, of course, room to add the beneficiaries, whether it's for the benefit or the ROP options. Next section would be payment. So in that section, we've included the temporary insurance agreement questions, since they are related to the payment of the first premium. So there is an opt-in or opt-out option right here. So of course, to qualify, the client must answer all of these questions by no, and the first premium must be paid at the moment of application. So if there is an error, for example, if you say that you want the temporary insurance agreement, but you do not pay the first premium, you will get an error message notifying you that the client won't qualify for the temporary insurance agreement. So, of course, there's a premium recap right here. And you could specify that you want a monthly pack or an annual payment for the premium. So that's the first option. And this is for the general premium payments. Then we offer the different options, to pay the first premium. So I would put a monthly pack, withdrawal on reception of this application, or a monthly pack, withdrawal upon the settling of the policy. So in this case, my clients wanted the temporary insurance agreement, so I will pay the premium right away. You could also pay by credit card, although we only allow the first monthly premium. So if your client wants an annual premium, but wants to pay the first premium right away to qualify for the temporary insurance agreement, you could pay either by PAC or by credit card. Now for the PAC date, we recommend that you pick the first option, which is day of withdrawal at issue date. It's easier for the first premium, and it reduces the risk of having two premiums to pay at policy settling. Of course, if you specify a day and it really doesn't work with the actual policy issue date, you could change it at a later time without any problem. So this is not a joint account. This is Sabrina's bank account. The first premium is listed right here, and you have to enter the bank information. And this is a part where we have to be very careful because we do not verify, of course, the information with the bank's database. So if the information is inaccurate, we won't have any way to know. I'll just enter a random postal code right here. And you have to enter the full bank information. So we will not require the check specimen for electronic applications. So just be careful because if the wrong information is entered, we don't really have a way to look it up, and we will have to wait for the payment to be returned. Okay, so one of the last section is the signature pages. So the first thing you have to do here is generate the signature requirements. So you have all of the disclosures here, the authorizations, the debit, the PAC agreement also, and the system generates 3 different signatures, and the client has to pick one. It makes absolutely no difference. It's just that we wanted this extra layer of security rather than having just another box to check. The fact that we have the client's name displayed 3 times in blue makes it more formal that this is the final step of the application and you're actually signing the document. So you have to pick a signature and you accept the terms of the agreement. Of course, if it's a face-to-face sales, if you're sitting with the client, there's really no extra step rather than just pressing the validation button. And if we were in a non-face-to-face sales, the client would have all of the agreements, so the PAC agreement, authorizations, etc., and the client would pick the signature on their screen. It's fun to know that the website, the link you will provide to the client can be accessed either by tablet, smartphone, laptop, whatever works for the client. So it's very convenient. Okay, so once the application has been signed by the clients, it can be submitted. So in the submission section, we have included the Financial Security Advisor's report. This section does not require the client's validation. One of the reasons is that this is where you would indicate if you have doubts about the insurability of the clients. And of course, the client doesn't need to know that. So you also have a space here where you can provide us with comments, whatever they are. You could also have a commission split. You just require the other advisor's code if you pick if your case is split. So you have to check the box here saying once again that you have verified the banking information. And once you did that, you can generate a PDF file, which only takes a matter of seconds. And this file you can open, and we also recommend, of course, that you save a copy on your computer for your compliance, and it's identical to the application. So all the information we have entered is reported in a PDF version of the application, which of course will be included in the contract when the policy is issued. So you can save this on your computer, and then you can submit the application to SSQ Insurance. What happens after that? The client receives a confirmation email. You are in copy of that email, and the case is automatically submitted in our systems. As soon as the next business day, the client can receive the call for the telephone interview. And once the case is finalized, if your clients are accepted, the policy issue remains the same, meaning that we send a paper contract to your MGA. So once you have submitted the case, you can close the application. And even once it's done, the case is in your saved application. So if you forgot, for example, to save the PDF file, you could go back there. But if you want to make a change when the policy has been submitted, you would have to contact the new business staff at your MGA. So this completes our demonstration. Keep in mind that there could be some minor adjustments to the application during the pilot, though they would remain minimal. Major changes such as replacements or non-face-to-face sales will be communicated to you by your wholesaler.